Okay, Gabe. So the reality is this, in this game against the 14s, right? If you finish your chances, we probably finish with a tied game. If not, win, because the boys will be playing harder because we're doing well, right? And the only reason we'd be in this game is because of your play. Look at this. I love how James is not as fast as you. You are bullying him in this game. You are beating him to the ball, right? Anytime he has the ball, you're all over his ankles, and that's how you need to be playing. Desperate to win that ball, because once you win it, they ain't going to catch you. Miles isn't going to catch you. And I love this dribble. You dribble across his body. So Miles literally, see how he's on your right here? But then you dribble across him. Now he's behind you. That's important. A finisher, a striker, a winger has to understand angles. If you cut off that defender behind you, I'll show you what I mean. So the defender is running this direction towards the goal, and you were running a parallel course right beside him, okay, with the ball. Now, granted, he was behind you, but then you cut across his path like this towards the goal. And by cutting across his path, he gets blocked. He either has to foul you right here or let you go. Like, that's what good forwards do. They make the right run. What you do, you cut across the defender, give him no option. Now you're on your strong foot. Granted, the ball's bouncing, but look where we choose to shoot this from. Behind the penalty spot. What do you have in front of you? Dude, you could literally, Jojo would never catch you. You could dribble this ball into the goal, and he would never be able to stop you. You should dribble this all the way in and just pass it into the corner. Just show him he has no chance. But by taking a shot from back here, you give him a chance to make the save, and you risk missing the goal because you're so far away from it. Just get closer and just touch it. And I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it so many times. You dribble right in. Let's see if I get this to work. You dribble right into the goal, like right about to here, right in front of them, and then you just flick it with the outside of the foot into the corner. I've seen you do it a million times. We have to have that finish, okay? Because in our big games, we're going to get those moments. You're going to get those passes. You're offside here, but I'm glad that Wayne let it play. But there's a lot of chances and opportunities we have here to go score. Here, Eli is quick, and I don't think you realize just how quick, all right? And so if you are playing against a fast defender, I need you to realize where he is. And you see right here, there's no effort from you to get a body on him. You right now should recognize you can feel him, his presence over your shoulder. You should get your arm across his body and holding him off. See right here? You're waiting too long, and he's able to get a toe in there before you. And you're waiting too long to get physical with him. You got to get, as soon as you feel his presence, you get physical, cut across him, and only allow yourself to take that shot. Okay? And in this moment, this is one where you might shoot early, because you recognize you're under pressure. You see the difference here between that play and this one? You have space. You beat him to that point, okay? So you can dribble in, take as long as you want, and just smash it in the goal. Here, he's on your hip. You might have to shoot early, and that's okay too. Just knowing, understanding something. But either way, buddy, you got to get physical with these guys, right? Otherwise, they're just as fast as you sometimes, and they're going to push you around. You got to be prepared to handle yourself physically there, okay? Now, here we have some excellent play from Mavi, Miles, and Timmy. I love it. Mavi, I talked to them about this before, right? Receiving here and looking, instead of playing it back to Timmy, looking for that switch. So I love that he looks for that switch, and he looks up to see you. And let's talk about the run that you make here, okay? Here's the defender, all right? Your run you're making here is towards that defender. Does that give Mavi really any options here? As soon as you realize Mavi's getting this ball, you should have already took off, okay, and tried to get even with this defender. Because if you're even with this defender when Mavi turns, okay, Mavi can play this ball into the space, and he will, and you're gone. But instead what happens is you don't have any anticipation here that this ball could come to you. So you just keep on jogging towards the defender, like slowly, instead of sprinting to get in position, okay? And because you jog slowly, you're now in this space. So Mavi's looking, assuming you were going to do this. You should no longer at this point move into the defender. You either need to stop right here or come to the ball, okay, and show. You need to show at this moment because the through ball isn't on anymore. And if you watch Maverick's pass, that's what he does. He plays it to the spot where you should be sitting down, right? He looks, and you keep moving towards the defender. It's too late. The moment this ball right here goes from Timmy to Mav, you should have done took off so that when Maverick turns, he can play you through. See, Jaden right here, opening up. If Mavi plays Jaden here, it's probably going to be a goal. Instead, he chooses to play you for the switch. but you're not making a good run. The only things you should be doing, there's 3 major runs you should be doing here, okay? All right, so the 3 major runs you make as a winger is A, up the field. So you sprint, you're behind, up that field, but you must be, for through balls, you must be even with the defender. See how Jaden's even with him? I play this through to Jaden. Okay, that would be my play as a center mid, okay? For you, if I see you're behind way back here behind him, okay, I'm going to be playing that ball to your feet. So you need to come to me or open up wide so that you can get that ball and then go around the defender, okay? But either way, you need to make a better decision here. One of the 3 things. A, get next to the defender for a through ball. B, show to the ball. C, open up. Make one of those 3 runs. You don't make any of them. You just kind of jog towards the defender slowly, okay? And that's going to stop our offense from being effective. That's going to limit how many goals and opportunities you get, okay? You need to hunt and notice when your hunting dog, right, is pointing or letting you know where the good hunt is. I don't know if I'm making any kind of sense there. But Mavi or Ethan, whoever it is that has the foot, Caden, when they get that ball, they are a weapon. They're trying to get the ball to you. You have to see it coming before so that when he gets it and turns and looks, you're already ready and he can just bomb it down the field to you, okay? All right. So we missed out on that. Over here, all right, this right here is the one thing that probably make me sub you off the field right away, okay? And it's a lack of attention to detail. In this moment, we've gone with wall, and you know that, and you are out of position. You realize that looking behind you, and you choose to backpedal. Boy, if you're this far out of position, you might as well turn and just sprint back to your position, because now look, he plays it over your head, and they are through. Your job in the wall is to be far enough back that we force them to play. I want them to play. And when we're playing a wall, right, it's because the other team likes to kick the ball long. So we sit back here and force them to play the under route, okay, which then Jaden can press, right? And then they'll kick the ball to you down the field. But you have to be self-aware, and once you realize you're out of position, it's got to be sprint your butt back in position, okay? Not backpedal, all right? Because we don't want that ball going over our head, because once it does, Josh and them are waiting for that ball to go wide. And so now Josh is out of position and the other team is in. Okay? And now this one here hurt my heart. So we got excellent pressure from Miles and Jari, and Miles wins the ball. Jari gets it and makes an excellent decision here. He attracts the defenders and then passes it to you here. Now, in this moment, you got a couple options. You can see, look at this. You have all this glorious space over here. Look at that. All that space. There's Miles. All that space right there. There's the ball to touch it into that space and hammer it into one of the 2 corners, right? All that space, okay? But here's the deal. You have to touch the ball onto your left side. You can still eventually shoot with the outside of your right foot, right? Or open up and play with the inside of your right foot. But either way, you need to touch this. Here's the defenders over here. You need to touch the ball away from the defenders, okay? And instead, because we are overly confident in our ability to A, dribble, and B, shoot with our right foot, you choose to cut this ball back right into the defenders. Again, touches, simple ones. I promise, if you take this ball right here and cut this onto your left foot, Miles ain't catching you. You're too quick. And you just pass it into the corner. I've seen you shoot with your left foot. It's actually a decent shot. But we cut it back on our right because we want to slam it. And instead of taking the simple choice here, right, to touch this onto our left foot, okay, come around this corner, touch it onto our left foot, and then smash it in the goal. And that's got to be better. You have to be a threat to come down the left side as much as you are to come down the right. Or people will start, look at this, none of them think you're going to go on your left foot. They all assume that cutback is about to happen, okay? And sure enough, it does. And teams will recognize this. They'll see your pattern of play, and they'll shut you down because of it. You have to have multiple facets to your game. That includes willingness to go left, okay, as much as you're wanting to go right, okay? I think that's pretty much it. This other one right here, I think you probably could have laid this off to Miles instead of trying to beat this guy yourself, okay? But either way, my main thing is just this. We got to have you finishing. Look at this. You're coming in. Look where you're shooting from. All the way out here. Get closer. And, I mean, at the end of the day, you could cut this across to Miles if you wanted to. Maybe not because of Eli. But, dude, we got to get closer before we're shooting. Get to the 6. Those goalies are scared. They stay on their lines. They don't come out. Come in closer. Give yourself more goal to shoot at because we're missing the post. Again, we should have easily had 3 or 4 just from you in this game today. Okay? And I think we lost 6-2. So 3 or 4 would have put us right there in the game. I felt like it was a more even game than the score showed. So work on that finishing for me between now and Thursday, okay? All right, thanks, bud.